In 1999, NASA lost a spacecraft worth $327 million. Not because of a technical failure, not because of a rogue employee, because two highly educated engineering teams used different units of measurement. One used metric, one used imperial. Nobody caught it under the pressure of a tight deadline. The mission was destroyed in seconds. These were some of the smartest engineers on the planet, and they made a mistake that a careful teenager might have avoided. So here is the question that should disturb you. If extreme intelligence couldn't protect those people from catastrophic failure under pressure, what is actually happening inside a mind when the stakes get high? And more importantly, is it happening to you right now without you knowing it? Welcome to TheMindShadow. This channel exists for one reason: to show you the psychological forces operating beneath the surface of human behavior, including your own. Understanding these forces is not optional if you want to operate at a high level. Today, we are going inside something almost no one talks about honestly: the specific, documented way that pressure dismantles intelligent thinking. Not in weak people, in sharp, capable, high-functioning individuals. By the end of this, you will understand why smart people consistently fail under pressure, how that failure is predictable and even exploitable, and what you can do to interrupt it before it costs you something you cannot get back. The first thing you need to understand is what psychologists call cognitive tunneling. When pressure rises, your brain does something automatic and ruthless. It narrows. It does not broaden its search for solutions. It locks onto the most immediately available option and defends it. This is not weakness. It is a survival mechanism that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years. In a physical threat, narrowing attention saves your life. You do not need to consider 12 options when a predator is closing in. But in a modern high-stakes situation, a negotiation, a business decision, a relationship confrontation, that same narrowing destroys you. The famous case of Air France Flight 447 illustrates this perfectly. In 2009, a fully functioning aircraft with trained pilots fell into the Atlantic Ocean. The black box recordings revealed something haunting. The pilots, overwhelmed by conflicting data and time pressure, fixated on a single incorrect diagnosis of the problem. They had access to the right information. They had the training to interpret it. But under the tunnel of pressure, they could not access what they already knew. Cognitive tunneling is not about intelligence level. High IQ makes you better at processing within the tunnel. It does not make the tunnel wider. In fact, intelligent people often become more confident inside the tunnel. They process their flawed assumptions faster. They build more sophisticated justifications for the wrong answer. This is where intelligence starts working against you. The smarter you are, the more convincing your errors become to yourself. Now let's go deeper, because what is happening in the brain during high-pressure moments is not metaphorical. It is physical and it is measurable. When your body perceives a threat, real or social, it floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals do something specific to the prefrontal cortex. They degrade it. The prefrontal cortex is the seat of your rational thinking. Long-term planning, consequence evaluation, impulse control, all of it lives there. Under acute stress, blood flow and neurochemical balance shift away from that region. Your brain essentially powers down the part responsible for the kind of thinking that got you where you are. What powers up instead is the amygdala, the threat detection engine. It is fast, reactive, and completely indifferent to nuance. Neuroscientist Amy Arnston at Yale has spent decades documenting exactly this process. She describes it as the brain shifting from a thoughtful, analytical state to a reactive, habitual state. Here is what makes this devastating for intelligent people specifically. High achievers have built their identity around their mental capability. When that capability is degraded, without their awareness, they do not feel less sharp. They feel the same. The confidence remains. The processing speed feels intact, but the quality of the thinking has collapsed underneath them. You are driving at full speed without knowing the engine has already failed. This is why pressure does not just cause mistakes. It causes a specific kind of mistake. Overconfident, tunnel-focused, and utterly convincing to the person making it. Now here is where this knowledge becomes dangerous, because what you just learned is not only a vulnerability to protect yourself from, it is a mechanism that other people use against you deliberately. Every skilled negotiator, every seasoned interrogator, every ruthless salesperson knows one fundamental truth. A pressured mind is a predictable mind. The artificial deadline is the most common version. You have seen it. You have probably fallen for it. A deal that must close tonight. A job offer that expires in 24 hours. A partner who needs an answer right now. The pressure is engineered, not organic. Its purpose is to activate exactly the neurological shift we just described. To narrow your thinking, degrade your prefrontal function, and make you reach for the most immediately available resolution, which is almost always the one being offered to you. But it goes further than deadlines. Skilled manipulators layer pressure. They stack emotional triggers, time constraints, and social consequences simultaneously. A confrontation that combines your fear of financial loss with your fear of social judgment with an implied time limit is not an accident. It is architecture. It is designed to collapse your decision-making into a single exit they have already prepared for you. Knowing this changes how you operate. The moment you feel urgency pulling you toward a decision, that urgency itself becomes a data point. Real opportunities rarely require instant responses. Genuine relationships rarely demand immediate compliance. When pressure appears, the intelligent move is to pause and ask one question. Who benefits if I decide right now? That question alone can dismantle the mechanism before it closes around you. Now here is the revelation, and it reframes everything we have covered. The NASA engineers, the pilots, every brilliant person who collapsed under pressure. They did not fail because of ignorance. They failed because of a trap hidden inside competence itself. The more capable you are in calm conditions, the more you trust your mind under all conditions. That trust is the vulnerability. Average performers under pressure often hesitate. They second guess. That hesitation, ironically, creates a small opening for recalibration. High performers do not hesitate. They execute. And when the mind executing is running on degraded hardware without knowing it, they execute confidently in exactly the wrong direction. The open loop from the beginning of this video closes here. The question was never about the engineer's intelligence. It was about whether intelligence alone can save you from your own biology. It cannot. Protection does not come from being smarter. It comes from having a system that operates even when your brain is compromised. The highest performers in any domain, special operations, elite negotiation, high-stakes surgery, they do not rely on their intelligence in critical moments. They rely on protocols, pre-decided frameworks that function when the prefrontal cortex is offline. Your intelligence is an asset, but under pressure, it needs a guardian. Build the protocol before you need it, because when you need it, it will be too late to think one up. If this changed how you see your own decision-making, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below with one high-pressure situation where you now recognize this mechanism at work. Every week on this channel, we go further into the psychology that most people never examine. The patterns operating beneath behavior, the forces shaping choices that feel free but rarely are. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing clearly. The people who understand these mechanisms do not become cynical, they become precise. There is a significant difference between the two. I will see you in the shadows.